Hey there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner. It is Friday night. We've made it to the weekend, and this is Tracking the Tropics. Hope you've had a good week in the tropics. Unfortunately, next week may not be a good week for us because we've got something brewing out there. Let's take a look at it. Here are our weather headlines. We've got a future Atlantic system on the way for next week. It's not looking like an Ian. That's good news. This is not going to be a major hurricane, but we could see widespread wind gusts along the coast up to 40 miles an hour between Tuesday and Friday of next week. Waves of 6 to 10 feet conservatively beginning late this weekend, continuing through next week. We might see waves higher than that, maybe up to 12 or 15 feet. Tides will be astronomically high. There's a full moon on Tuesday, and in fact, Tuesday morning before sunrise, a total lunar eclipse. They're calling it the blood moon. It's also election day. Beach erosion is a possibility. Dunes have already been impacted by Hurricane Ian, so with coastal flooding as a result of some minor storm surge, maybe a couple feet, in addition to the astronomically high tides, which will send tides a foot or so higher than normal. I mean, there could be enough water here to do some damage to some homes right along the beach, especially if homes that are kind of teetering, homes that have already been storm damaged. As far as the intercoastal waterway, there's a possibility we could see water backing up there as well, adding a little higher water there, maybe coming into people's yards. But the specifics on this are yet to be determined because the system hasn't formed. What I mean is that you need a low pressure system to track to talk about where it's going to go. So this is the GFS model, and it forecasts that the low is going to form approximately this location, roughly 630 miles east of Miami. It could form there. It might form farther north. It might form farther south. You know, where it develops, that's going to determine where it goes, and where it goes will determine how bad our weather gets, right? So it looks like at the very minimum, though, we're going to have a really tight gradient of pressure, and that will result from Tuesday through Thursday in a northeast flow off the Atlantic. That's going to push the water up, make the big waves. So regardless, or I should say irregardless, of if we have a system, it doesn't matter. We're still going to catch that northeast wind, whether this becomes a closed low or not. So we're going to have coastal impacts regardless, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are impact days for us here at Fox 35. The low pressure system goes west. Yeah, the impacts will be far reaching. If it does track this way, and eventually by the end of next week makes its way toward Tampa as maybe a subtropical storm or tropical storm, we'd be looking at some heavy rain, some wind. It would be a mess. Can't sugarcoat that. So we got to stay on this, right? 40% chance, says the National Hurricane Center, of development of this system. By the way, we have Tropical Depression Lisa. It's expected to die. This shot has a 10% chance here near Bermuda. It doesn't look to be a threat for us. But I can't reiterate enough that we got big seas and big surf on the way. Seas building to 20 feet. Now, as far as rain goes, this does not look to be an Ian. Ian dropped 4 or 5 inches of rain per hour. This one looks like it may drop storm totals Monday through Wednesday, where it rains hardest, about 4 to 6 inches. So that would be about an inch. GFS model, the American model, 1 or 2 inches for the whole week. So a tenth of an inch a day, quarter inch a day. Not bad. We can handle that. Same with the European model. So that doesn't look to be a huge concern, but there's a lot of uncertainty with what this will become and where it tracks. So stay with the Fox 35 Storm Team. As this develops, we'll walk you through it. We're going to know a lot more by Sunday once the low actually develops. As far as a scale 1 to 10, being super concerned about it, like a 10, we're probably like a 4 or 5. We'll monitor it. It looks like a subtropical storm is certainly a possibility. We could see a wind core where this makes landfall on the Atlantic coast, anywhere between Miami and Jacksonville, of gusts over 60 miles an hour. So we've got that problem as well. So stay tuned. Looks like most of us, though, will catch winds about 30 to 40 at the worst on the beaches. Most inland locations next week should see clouds, passing showers, kind of a breezy day with winds of 15 to 20 miles an hour. All right, we'll have updates as needed. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Brooks Weather, and we'll see you on the newscast tonight on Fox 35.